Welcome to another exciting episode of ZoeTV. I got a special co-host, Michelle Jones, taking the place of Kay, who's living the life over in Maui.
Oh, wow.
And so, she's just living the dream, and we're here enjoying our lives. So, Kay will be back next week. We're lucky to have Michelle, and we're starting this show off with our favorite segment, our Resident of Inspiration. Don and Susan Stedfield, what can I say? Thank you for being here.
What you can say is, I'm Don and she's Susan.
Hey, write that down so we remember as the show goes on. You guys got nominated last week by the Wixons and put you guys in the hot seat. So I'll start with, like we do each week, what was your first interpretation? Like, wow, I got nominated. I knew it was inevitable.
I thought, oh no.
On TV? Probably not.
Well, it is very well deserved. They talk glowingly about what you guys do for the campus, how you got so many different circles of people you do life with, and that you are obviously so active in the movies and you do so much volunteering and you help out. But I think what Wixon said was true is that you're integral in the community. And that's what Glencroft's built on, people like you. So what would you say to the Wixons? What do you think about Glencroft?
Well, Glencroft is wonderful because it does get you involved in the community. Mm-hmm. Other communities, we used to live in another retirement place 2 years. And we had activities, yes. But we weren't really involved in helping each other, let's say.
Make it happen.
Yeah, making things happen. I think the biggest thing was making peanut butter sandwiches for school. But that was it.
That was the extent of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
okay.
This place is kind of like the Marigold Hotel. We saw a movie on the Marigold Hotel.
Okay.
And at the very end, Maggie Smith was running the place. But that's kind of like what we feel like we're doing.
Very cool.
Because we're part of it.
Yeah, you are. You are definitely part of it. So when did you guys actually come to Glencroft? How long ago?
3 years, 8 months.
3 years and 8 months.
14 days.
And 14 days. And 12 hours. So,
but who's counting?
But who's counting? So what brought you to Glencroft? I mean, you have a million options out there, and I know you guys were living kind of up in Cave Creek, and you've been all over this valley, right? Like you've lived...
We lived in far north Scottsdale for about 20 years. Then we decided, because of some of Susan's difficulties, that we needed to move into a retirement place. We went to another one initially, which was okay, probably a little higher end than here, but not near as good, because it didn't and doesn't have the amenities that are here. They have some amenities, but nothing to the degree that we have here.
Yeah, I think, that's what Glencroft has always tried to do in its 50-year tradition of providing so much bang for your buck. Always been the low-cost leader, yes, that's a given, but we try to give so much to the residents and have you involved in so much giving back to each other through programs, through activities, through volunteering. I mean, there's so much opportunity, and that's why we talk about this segment a lot for our new residents, is there's so many ways to get involved. And so how would you, with the few minutes we have left before we get in your nomination, what would you say to a new resident on campus that is just unpacking their bags for the first time? How do they get involved? What's the best way?
Just reach out, and probably the good contact point is the activities center. There's something for everyone here, and there's ways for everyone to contribute. The biggest mistake some people make is they isolate, and it just makes no sense doing that. You really need to get involved, get out of your apartment, and just enjoy what's here. We do the movies on Wednesday nights, and we have a lot of people turn out, but it's amazing it's not at least twice as many. And so anyway, it's a great place.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that what we try to always tell residents is, you know, you don't have to do everything, just baby steps. Just start with something simple and start meeting people and get out there and just explore these 40 acres and you're gonna find a niche. I mean, there's so many various clubs and ways to get involved, whether it's Bible studies or whether it's just small group stuff. There's just opportunities everywhere.
There's a lot more niches across the highway, though.
A lot more niches across the highway,
Yeah,
that way?
in the cemetery.
Get busy.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. All right, so we got a few minutes
Let me
left.
make one point, though.
Yep.
Is that there's so much to do here. There's probably too much to do if you try to do it all, and you can't. But the big thing is, get out of your apartment and do something.
Yeah,
And there's something for everybody.
yeah, that's a great
But
point.
you have to ask, because I was here for about 6 months and didn't even know about the activities in the basement.
You got to really explore, huh?
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, it was during the kind of transition type period where they really didn't do a lot of telling you what was available.
Yeah, I think we've come so far, at least in the in-room channel with our app. We got so many ways to convey everything that we're doing for the campus. I think new residents with their orientation and their onboarding process, probably a little different. I mean, that's how far we're moving the needle so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been there for a couple years and it's changed a lot. I bet you've seen a lot of changes.
Big changes, yes.
All right, so with the last 2 minutes or so, what are you guys thinking for your resident of nomination? This is your time to put somebody else in that hot seat. Who are we going to pick?
Judy Mack.
Oh, that's your go. There you go.
You
That's
know-
right in her wheelhouse.
She, well, she's been very kind to us. She is in charge of the Mexican train group.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to play this year because my vision is getting bad. But she talked me into doing it because another lady was having bad vision. So I was going to help this other lady. Well, if Michelle hadn't come, she wouldn't have been able to play. But, I mean, she's that bad. But I can still play. It's just that there's so much. I mean, on that day, I had bingo in the morning, I had bridge in the afternoon, and then I had Mexican train in the evening.
That's a busy day.
Busy day with somebody with bad lungs.
Yeah.
So,
In terms of Judy, she's helped in the background with the movies.
Okay.
And not supposed to publicize that, but now it's
No,
going
it's
to be for the
good. Hey,
record.
love on her. That's
No,
great.
no,
That's
no,
what this
she doesn't want that.
Well, okay, that's too
No,
bad.
no.
She's in a hot seat.
Yeah, but she's very, very helpful. Because the one thing about it, it's impossible to proof your own work. And you see it the way you think it is rather than the way it is.
Yeah.
And she's very, very good when I make mistakes, of which I make many, of getting back to me and just telling me what's going on.
Sure.
And that's extremely helpful. I don't need any help looking stupid by myself, so she helps keep me from looking stupid.
Well, you always need somebody like that. I got her on my
Absolutely,
side. So
yeah.
you always need to have a wingman,
Yeah.
wingwoman to help you not look.
She's very helpful, yep.
Well, that's a great nomination. We're going to enjoy talking to her next week. But Stepfields, it's been great. I've enjoyed working with you guys over the last couple years, way back to Beta 1. And you're a big part of this campus, so you well deserved to sit
I'm a bigger
there.
part than she is.
We're trying to become smaller part.
we appreciate you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you guys are awesome. Thank you. We thought, Michelle, why not showcase our poster child for the Magic Box? We're co-hosting, and now we're demoing.
We are.
Okay? We have had such good feedback on signups
Yes.
for the Magic Box. We are over 40 of you out there. 40 of you are registered and signed up. We know why you want the box, right? We've got a spreadsheet a mile long. And
We do.
I think we've had another 6 called today that you don't
So,
even know about.
imagine.
So the good news is you guys have learned this Magic Box is a big deal to us.
Absolutely.
We call it the Magic Box because as you can see, it's a box. It's not a box you step in. Michelle, tell them. Some people think you get in a box.
Right.
Not so much.
Yeah.
This is the magic box right here. So the way this works is we have two pieces of this equipment that work together. And what we thought we would do is demo for you guys, our poster child here for ankle. Michelle, give these guys some context of what you've been through in your life with this ankle and what you've seen so far with 7 sessions with the magic box.
So short version, took a spill 10 years ago. Actually ripped a fibula out of the ankle joint, fractured both sides. 7 screws and a metal plate later. Had 18 weeks of bed rest physical therapy and got to the point where I really had no range of motion, to the point that that's what pushed me to move to Arizona, because I had to get out of the cold. I literally was dragging it along. So about 1.5 years later, after I moved to Arizona, I got a little bit of feeling right back here. The rest of this was completely dead. You could have hit it with a hammer and I wouldn't have felt
So
it.
just being in the dry climate, you felt a little relief coming from back east.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
So,
I could hit you with a hammer and you wouldn't have known it.
true. Adam
Okay.
Sandler, what is that, Mr. Deeds?
Yes,
Hack it
yes,
off,
yes.
would have been gone. So we hit the very first session. I got a little sensation, and it was great, and it was surprising. And if that had been it, that would have been like, okay, cool, this is way better than I felt in 10 years. And as we progress at this point, we've done 7. There's feeling all the way up to the point that I sat on the patio Saturday just going like this, like, hey, I can feel my fingers on my own leg. On this side, one of the things they did from physical therapy, you do the alphabet with your feet. I could do the C to about here and get stuck, and now I can take that C all the way around. I can go all the way around either way. All the scar tissue, I don't know how well you can see between the screws. That was basically one level plane of just buildup of scar tissue over 10 years, and now you can actually feel in between them physically with your finger, but I have feeling in between there. Here, I had forgotten about where the bone came through the skin, and one of those sessions, all of a sudden, remember, I went, whoa, and
Yep.
it was like blood flow over the top of my foot. Well, you get used to the way things were, right? So I forgot that I was supposed to have that feeling. So now there's blood flow over the top of my foot, and I can move, and I can pretty much feel like I probably need to strengthen it a little bit, but I
Yeah.
can strap on a hiking boot and go hiking, which I thought I'd never hike again, so.
Well, I think
It's,
what's cool is, you know, we never want to claim anything with this device. It's a
Right.
pain management tool. We're not saying it's curing anything. We're not saying it's, you know, fixing the ankle. We didn't promise.
Nope.
But the fact is, things are happening in this ankle for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we are in the middle right now. We had our first session with Michelle when we were in training. And I think everybody out there needs to understand, because I get asked this question a lot, is how much training have you and your team had on this device to be able to use it in this capacity?
Right.
And I will tell you that we spent weeks going through hours and hours and hours of training with their team that came out and came to Glencroft to certify us. So, you know, Randy Lujan, our director of therapy, and myself are the first ones certified, so we're the only ones running it at this point. Gerald, Michelle, everybody else is working, following up to that, because the thing is, with 40, 50 people on our waiting list, every session is between 30 and 40 minutes,
Right.
one-on-one. Okay, so right now we're in beta 1. We have 5 residents that are
Right.
participating. This has been their first full week. So today is their second week of actually participating with the machine. We're taking knees, we're taking backs, we're taking neuropathy, sciatica, bursitis. We are doing a little bit with memory. The machine has protocols for everything under the sun, everything from memory, pre-dementia, to musculoskeletal, where we're working on conditions and chronic pain. So what we thought we would do with the remaining little bit of time is show a treatment, not in full, but show what it means and how we use the electricity in this machine to move electricity around the body and around the pain. And again, that's what this whole thing is about, is pain management. So this lower part of the machine that I'm not hooked into right now actually goes into the cell of where the pain is, and it pulls and extracts a bunch of the junk that is creating this really unhealthy, dead kind of cell. And then this part of the machine then takes that junk and pushes it into your lymph system, where once you drink a lot of water, you'll get that stuff out. And that's what's happened with you is even after session 1 of extracting a lot of the junk and pushing it out, it's like all of a sudden we got range of motion. And I can tell you in beta 1 after 1 week, I'm not going to say who it is, but somebody has really high level neuropathy in their feet.
Right.
And they in 1 week are immediately feeling different. And the feeling of walking on rocks and just granular nasties under your feet, that's gone in 1 week. Our sessions we're trying to get with every resident is 9 sessions. We're finding that a 3-day a week, 3-week program is more than enough to make a major difference, and then we'll kind of wean out and do this like gradual 1 day a week progression. So Michelle, if you're good and ready, I'm going to get a little bit of the lotion on you. This is basically conductor lotion. These are the electrodes that we use. All different protocols have different ways to apply the electricity. So for some, we will put a magnet under your foot or under your leg. That gets hooked to the machine. That lets us work just the top of the injury. So if you got a knee, sometimes I'll put a magnet behind your calf, behind your leg, under the hamstring, and we're going to work on top of the leg with the electrodes. The protocol I'm using right now is the one we've been using mostly with beta, and that's called our web-based protocol. That's basically finding kind of the point of injury. So Michelle, point to me our little sweet spot that we love to start with. Okay, so she gave me a little sweet spot right there. Okay, now all I do then is find a few other points around that little pain area. And for you, it might be your knee, it might be your back, and we create little spots to work. Okay, so this machine right here, obviously different frequencies, different intensities, everybody's different. What we don't want is for this machine to hurt you. We don't want you to feel like, ow, ow, ow. It's not like that. We want it to be very calm. So as we get into this machine, you guys can see those blue dots. All of a sudden they've reached green. Okay? The goal is for Michelle to stay in that green as long as possible. Okay? The cell, when it's in the green, means that cell is healthy. All right? So we have basically, you can see us. We're working a little bit in the green, but we're hovering in that blue. All right? Our goal is to get to that green and stay there. I am working these electrodes around that main point that Michelle has pain. This is called the web protocol. This is what beta 1 is constantly working in. Okay, again, I take these devices. You feel any pain?
No.
You feel anything?
You feel a little sensation. You feel a tingle almost like if your foot falls asleep is all you feel. There's no pain at all. It's just a sensation.
Okay, now I have the ability to adjust intensity. So for some of our residents in beta 1, some of the intensity levels that Michelle's on right now is like, ooh, I feel that. I feel that too much. I can turn it down. Okay, so everybody's different. Right. But what you can see is I've worked right through a frequency. Now I'm going to up the frequency. I'm going through a protocol that changes based on the injury. So right now I'm in web protocol for ankle. So I know from our training, the protocol I need to use is 6 seconds worth of frequency pumping into the injury. So for 6 seconds, you're going to see those light up. And then it's going to stop. Okay, then I'm going to move to the next spot. And I'm going to little rotations, just like this, for 6 seconds. And you're going to see those lights. Okay, and we're going to do that twice. How's that feel?
That's great. The best part is I can feel it.
That's right. So for you out there at home that are on the list, I know a lot of you are, we are going to start taking new residents into beta 2 here shortly. Okay, so we're going to try to do this very fairly because there's so many of you on the list. So we're going to be pulling names out of a hat or something fun, maybe on next week's ZoeTV. A live, like lottery, like an NBA lottery.
That sounds like good.
That would be kind of cool. So I hope, guys, this is helpful. We want to make sure you understand fully, because we're in beta, I shut the door. We don't need an audience. We don't need everybody watching. But it's important for you guys to see what this actually looks like. So, Michelle, any comments, any words of advice on what we've been doing past? I know you're feeling great. You're like our poster child for this machine. Any other little last minute tidbits for these guys?
I would say don't come in expecting in your first session that you're going to be where I am on the 7th. Keep an open mind. Drink water before you come. Make sure you drink water after. And from there, it's just, keep your mind open. And my healing, the best I can tell you, is that I'm hopeful that it'll be as helpful to whatever body part hurts you as it has been to my ankle. It's truly amazing that, A, I have feeling, B, I have this rotation that I couldn't do before. So please be patient. We're going to do it as fairly as we can, and we'll get as many of you as we can, and try it out. It's definitely worth a shot.
I think what you just hit on is the patient factor.
Right.
Just so everybody knows out there, this technology, you've heard us talk about it on the show before, is used for professional athletes, Olympic athletes. A lot of the major sports team carries this in-house. It's never been brought to a senior living facility, ever. We're the first one to ever try this. If you go and use this facility in Scottsdale, if you can actually get access to it,
right.
It's $100 a session. Yeah. Ask Kay Baker, she's paid that.
Yeah.
We are doing this for free for our residents, okay? Because it dovetails right into the ZoeLife model. We want you to eat right. We want your spiritual walk to be healthy. Yep. This technology dovetails right into that. And that's what you've heard from the brothers is, they're excited to see it in this controlled environment that is Glencroft. Yeah. That you're not going to McDonald's. You're not doing all this crazy fast food stuff. You're working out. Yep. Your spiritual walk is strong. All 6 pillars are being hit. And how does technology play into that? Right. So the last part, this is everybody's favorite part, is called the Y probe. This guy right here is actually what pushes all the junk we extracted from the cell into that lymph system. So the frequencies I used with this guy is to pull and draw all that garbage out. And now what we do is I give you guys 10 minutes on this, and you can see, here's our lights again. So the beauty of this Y probe, I am just working the injury, okay? We're working ankle, we're working knee, we're working back, we're working memory, we're working everything. But this Y probe right here enables us to do so many crazy cool things. So Michelle, I've got your intensity at the halfway point. How does that feel? I think it's important for you to reiterate to the residents out there, doesn't hurt.
So there's definitely no pain at all. All you can feel really is the actual balls of the prong rolling over you. So it's just the sensation of that. There's really no pain at all to it. And it's, especially for people that have neuropathy or any other numbness, the fact that you can feel it is amazing. And it's just know that it's pushing all that stuff out. When you're done, drink lots of water to flush it out so it stays out of your system. But there's definitely no pain at all involved in this.
Yeah, and I think what's been cool is Randy Lujan, who's doing this, is my sidekick. As a clinical mind over in Providence Place, he understands the clinical side of this machine, that we can't claim anything, that this is very naturopathic in its ways. But he wasn't a believer at first. He was very reluctant to give this thing much love. As a clinician, he said, I'm not buying this at all. But as we've progressed and as we've trained, Randy's like, I'm all in. Whatever this is doing, I am loving watching the effect it is having on our residents. So with that, Michelle, I hope the phones go off the hook. We're over 50 on the waiting list. We want 50 more. We're going to get to you, we promise. And with that, I hope this was helpful, because we're getting a lot of questions on what it actually looks like. And no, you don't go sit in a box, you use the box. And with that, ZoeTV is out.